Okay, I'm really sorry about my OCD video. I had no idea that the thing was going woo, woo, because I had my laptop sitting on some pillows to make it higher so that I could actually be in the shot. And it was, I had no idea. I didn't watch the video before. Actually, I did watch the video. I watched it in, oh, I'm confused now. I don't know why that happened. I'm sorry. But now I have it sitting on, you know, a wicker box, so hopefully it's not. I'll watch it first. Yeah. So anyways, this afternoon I had an appointment with a homeopath on Skype who is in Moncton, New Brunswick. Moncton, New Brunswick, Dr. Ravi. So, yeah, a homeopath. So instead of taking hardcore like psychiatric drugs that they use to treat Tourette's, would use like a natural way, which was suggested to me by someone I met a few weeks ago at an assembly, and she said that her Tourette's was cured. Like, her father had Tourette's, and he killed himself because it was so bad. Her brother had Tourette's, actually both brothers had Tourette's, and one of them killed himself because of the Tourette's. And she has Tourette's, had Tourette's, and her two little kids had Tourette's, or have Tourette's. And she went to this homeopath, and she says that she was completely cured. Like, she took these remedies for 5 years, and they helped a lot, and then she stopped taking the meds, and she doesn't have Tourette's anymore. And then her kids had Tourette's. She said her little daughter was making animal noises. So she was on these natural remedies too, and hers got better. Then the neurologist tells me that you can't cure Tourette's, you can only control it. So I'm not sure who to trust or who to believe. I don't know. In any case, I took her advice and I got an appointment with this guy over Skype. I talked to him over Skype this afternoon, and he asks all kinds of questions, okay? So if you go to a homeopath, like, expect to have a lot of questions, because they don't just treat, like, he gave the example of, like, if you're treating someone who is coming in because they can't sleep, you don't give them medication or remedy so that they can sleep. You give them a remedy for the reason why they can't sleep. So there's why can't they sleep, and the reason why they can't sleep. The reason why it is that they can't sleep, you gotta find the reason for that, and the reason for that, and the reason for that, and go back to the very root cause and treat those things instead of giving remedies for the sleep. So then he was asking me all kinds of questions. Do I have skin rashes like eczema? Do I have, you know, headaches? What kind of hobbies I do? What I like to do? How I spend my time? All kinds of medical questions, like psychiatric questions, medical background. So I answered. I didn't think it was relevant, but I told him about my self-injury. And he says, "Is there anything else?" And I said, "Nothing that's relevant." My sister's like, "You should tell him." And I'm like, "I don't think it's relevant." She says, "What if it is?" So I told him, and he says, "Yes, it is relevant." He said, "Yes, it was relevant." So he gave me meds. I went to the health food store and to the pharmacy, because there's a homeopathic section in the pharmacy. And what is this? Omega-3. What is that? Vitamin B. Vitamin B. And phosphate mono... Okay, I'm going to read it off of the paper that I wrote it on. Calcium phosphoricum. And the thing that they didn't have at the pharmacy, they only had... Like, this one is Staphylococcus 200 CH. And the only level they had was 7. Which is very small. 7 compared to 200. That was the highest they had, was 7. So they had to order it in. It's going to get there like Wednesday. I don't even know what I was saying. Jeez, what's wrong with me? Oh yeah. Okay, whoops. Screen went black again. That's really annoying. My old computer didn't do that. Oh no, wait, it did. Okay. So these things, he said he was treating me for anxiety and for impulsiveness, like for my binging and for my self-injury. And apparently that's linked to my Tourette's, because he asked about my childhood, my background, my childhood, and I told him about the things that I had lived. Alcoholic father, abusive in several ways, and so that abuse would have caused trauma. And I know that when my Tourette's came back in adulthood, it was during a very traumatic time for me. So he thinks that my Tourette's was caused by trauma and not genetics, and he says that there's the theory going, which if you read about Tourette's, and they say, okay, 6 minutes. They say that that Tourette's is genetic, that you're born with it. But he doesn't believe that theory, because he says that he has 35 patients that have Tourette's, and 28 of them have no family history of Tourette's. Like, nobody else in their family has it. So he says he really doesn't think that that's true, at least not for most people. So he says that for some cases, like mine, it would be caused by trauma. Which, I don't know, I mean, I was going through a lot of anxiety. Like when I was a teenager, when I had my neck tics, I was going through a lot. And when they came back when I was an adult, I was going through a lot. Maybe what I was going through then kind of reminded me of the trauma I had when I was a child. So, yeah. Anyways, he says, for these meds, or whatever, that 15 to 20% better, that you can get 15 to 20% better, usually, by taking these homeopathic remedies. 15 to 20%, that's pretty good. I mean, it's better than 0, right? I mean, it's not curing it, but it's certainly going a long way. So 15 to 20%, that's great. Seeing as the regular meds, the medications that they give usually for Tourette's are so hardcore and they have such terrible side effects, I think that this is a good option. I can't say yet if I recommend it, but I'm supposed to talk to him again in 3 weeks and give an update and say what's going on and what helped and what didn't help. So maybe I'll give you an update then as to whether it worked and whether I can recommend this stuff. But I'm hopeful. I mean, I think that this stuff is way better than taking, risperidone that makes you act pregnant, or Pimazid that makes you sleep 16 hours a day, or Klonopine that makes you pass out. I mean, what can you get off of fish oil? And I can't believe I'm going to have to take fish oil. That's disgusting. Well, so, yeah. I'm thinking it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. So, when I'm starting that Wednesday, I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of like little grains, little grains you put under your tongue and you let it melt. So it's kind of, that's what the Straphasgria is. It's grains that you put under your tongue. And also the Calcium Phosphorium 6X. Yeah. So yeah, that's my update on Tourette's. I'm looking forward to starting these and seeing what happens. Quite looking forward to it, so that's nice. I mean, I don't want to take risperidone anymore. I don't want to, having my bras full of milk all the time, I mean, what fun is that? Eh? It smells very interesting, though. Nothing like real milk. Anyways, cow milk. So I'm gonna shut up because I'm getting gross. My sister shouldn't watch this video because she'll freak about milk. 10 minutes, I'm shutting up.